Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for another quick COMC Rummage video. Pulled about 15 cards here from my to-be processed box of incoming cards that I've picked up over the years on COMC. These are going to be older pickups from a few years back, and I can easily tell that because they lack the white paper receipt that COMC now includes in the back of every penny sleeve. So these were probably picked up somewhere in the realm of, 3 or 4 years ago, and some of them might have even been longer than that. But as is usually the case, just going to flip through all 15 and see what we have here, and then I'll get these added into the collection after the video ends. So starting off here with one for the 59 top set build that I'm working on, Mr. Don Elston of the Chicago Cubs. Just a common there that I needed to fill out that binder. Here's a cool card. This is a throwback. It's not an original 1990 Upper Deck Young Guns, but it's a 25th anniversary throwback version featuring Peter Forsberg, who was an amazing rookie in the early 90s and is a Hall of Fame player, one of the more effective offensive players in the game throughout the 90s, and a guy who I really enjoyed watching play with both the Nordiques and the Avalanche later, alongside Joe Sakic. And I just thought that was a cool throwback Young Guns. As with, probably all the cards that we're going to see in today's video, nothing of extreme value, but just thought it was a neat card to add to the hockey collection. Here's another Topps On Demand 3D. So I've been showing these off of late. I've been picking up a ton of these singles. Topps started producing this set in 2018. It features these lenticular 3D cards, and they still do this right up to the present day. And was able to snag this Miggy, who's winding down the final weeks of his career here with the Detroit Tigers. Thought that was a neat 3D card there. Just can't get enough of those. And then here is a single. This is a Red Sox pickup. Probably bought this one many years back when I was more of a Red Sox team collector, featuring lefty John Lester. This is from the Topps Marquee set, which came out in 2011. This was a short-lived set. I think it was maybe even a one and done. And that was the end of it, but it had really nice photos, full bleed, and just this simple little marquee foil nameplate along the bottom. You can see the foil a little bit better there. I love this set. It had a ton of really nice photos of retired players and Hall of Famers. Obviously, that is not one of those, but picked that one up for the Red Sox PC, and that was a very fun set by Topps that, a decade plus later here, many folks may not remember. I've got a buyback up next. And most of my buybacks have been baseball that I've shown here on the channel, but I do love buybacks from any sport. I have quite a few hockey ones, and I have a handful of football, and was able to snag this one, Stanley Morgan, wide receiver for my New England Patriots. This is a 60th anniversary Topps football buyback. You can see the 60 stamp there in red in the lower left, and I just love this shot of Stanley. Obviously, this is a card that came out before I was even born, so I don't really have a lot of memories of watching him play, but I am working on, in my little Football Z folio, a 9-card page that contains all 60th anniversary buybacks. So I'm happy to run across this one, and that one is destined straight for the Z. We saw a 3D Miggy card a minute ago, and now we're going to look at a 3D Dinosaur, the Edmontonia. Not very familiar with that one, but this is from the 2015 Upper Deck Dinosaurs release. There was a 42-card insert set of lenticular 3D dinosaurs like this one. This is maybe one of the less visually appealing, or the 3D effect isn't quite as noticeable on this card as it is on many of the others. But I am working on this entire 42-card insert set. Wasn't a big fan of the base cards in that Dinosaurs release, but I love those 3D inserts. Here's one that I think I might already have in the collection, but I grabbed another copy just because the photograph is absolutely stunning. Check out this Ted Williams at Fenway Park in front of the monster. Look at that swing, the curvature of that bat. I'm sure most of you have seen this card many times. It was one of the more popular cards in this particular Stadium Club release, and it's easy to see why I love the black and white photo here of one of the best guys to ever swing the lumber, Mr. Ted Williams. Probably a top 5 hitter all time in the history of Major League Baseball. And again, just a really cool image. Here's another one for a set build, this time on the hockey side. Been plugging away on the 71-72 Topps hockey release with the bubble letter up top and the team name along the bottom, along with the team logo and position. Just love the bright color of these, and getting closer and closer to a complete set. Still missing the Ken Dryden rookie, which is on my short hit list, but happy to add Murray Hall here to the binder. And I do have that set build in a binder, so Murray will be joining the rest of those cards at the conclusion of today's episode. Here's kind of a funny one. I think I picked this up after a trip that my wife and I took, but this is a Gallagher's Cigarettes card, tobacco card from, I'm going to guess the 1920s or 30s, but it's Animals and Birds of Commercial Value is the name of the set. And the card that I picked up was the Toucan. So just a really cool card there. I don't really have a lot of reasoning or rationale behind picking this up, except that I did take a trip in 2014, I think it was, to Costa Rica with my wife. And we were able to stay at a place that was rehabbing some toucans and actually had one sit on our shoulders and eat out of our hands. And it was pretty wild. So I think probably shortly after that is when I was inspired to pick up that toucan card to have in the collection, just to kind of link to that memory of that trip. Next up, a great parallel from the first ever O-Pee-Chee Platinum hockey release. So a lot of you have been ripping this product over the last year, O-Pee-Chee Platinum, but it actually started all the way back in 2014. And in the very first set that they came out with, they had these parallels called Blue Cubes. And you can kind of see why they got the name that they did. But these are just gorgeous. So I kind of fell in love with these. Didn't try to complete a set or anything because they're somewhat tough to find, as we'll see in a second. But I did grab a bunch of singles when they were available cheaply. And this one features Michael Camilleri. Played for a few different teams and was kind of known as a scorer or a sniper at forward. And just grabbed this one because it cost almost nothing. I could pretty much guarantee you this was under $1 and was probably under 50 cents or around there. And all of these blue cubes in that first year were numbered out of just 65 copies. So really love these parallels. May have to do a whole episode in the future where I just look at my small little collection of these blue cubes, because I do have a couple of big names as well as some minor stars like that Camilleri. Sticking with the shine for a moment here. This is one from the mid-2000s Upper Deck release, but it's a parallel numbered out of 99 featuring Coco Crisp. And look at that shine. Looks awesome. You can tell this is a mid-2000s shiny card because they just don't make them like this anymore. Got some nice palm trees in the background. Mic and tape recorder here in the foreground, so Coco is being interviewed. And mostly grabbed this one because it's a serial numbered Boston Red Sox card. Not sure this is the type of card that I would really pick up today on the site, but again, these are pickups from many years back, and I'm certainly not upset to have this one in the collection by any means. And then one more shiny Red Sox card while we're on the topic. From 1994, Topps Finest. This was the second ever Topps Finest baseball release, and the refractors look just amazing. Of course, the 93 refractors from the year prior are some of the most coveted 90s parallels that exist. Very, very expensive cards, especially for star players. I love the 94s just as much. I don't know if they're as rare. It's, purported that there are something like 240, somewhere there around, copies of the 93 refractors each. I would assume 94 is close to that rare, but I really don't know if there's been an announced print run on these. They're not numbered, but picked up this Jeff Russell for the Red Sox collection, and 94 Finest is one of those sets. I'll grab just about any refractor, even a common player that I see if it's really, really discounted, and that was the case with that card. Got one vintage baseball single here from 1962 Topps. Member of the Hall of Very Good, Mr. Joe Adcock with the Milwaukee Braves. I love this shot. And this is a set, I think this happens to a lot of us as collectors. At least I hear a lot of other people talk about it. Wasn't a big fan of this set when I was a kid. I don't know why. I just didn't really like it. And even when I first got back into collecting as an adult, wasn't, my favorite 60s set by any means. Was much more into 64, 65, even 69 Topps, but 62 has really, really grown on me. I love the concept of like a a photo kind of pasted onto like a wooden fence and peeling back off the fence. I don't know why it didn't appeal to me before, but I absolutely adore this set now, and I have been trying to pick up some more 62, so that was a cheap Joe Adcock there. 2 more cards to go. I pulled 15 total today. This one kind of is similar to the 71 Topps Hockey Murray Hall that we have there. Also have a 71 Topps Basketball, because I am slowly kind of half working on that set. And this is a great Baltimore Bullets card of Wes Unseld, who I think is a Hall of Famer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a huge basketball collector, so I definitely may have that wrong. But either way, I needed this one for the set. It was cheap. It's in really good shape. I mean, those corners are crisp. No crinkles or wrinkles or issues. You know, decently centered, vibrant colors. I'm just, this is the exact kind of card that I look for in that kind of half set pursuit that I'm working on. So happy to cross another one off the list for that project. And then we're going to close it out with one more football card. So 2 football cards today and a basketball card, kind of a rare occurrence, plus a toucan and a dinosaur. So you're really seeing the variety that I tend to gravitate towards when I'm shopping on COMC. But here is a beautiful Prism Rob Gronkowski. I don't even know what this effect is called. I forget at the moment, but I love the red, white, and blue borders on this card for a Patriots card. This was one of my favorite players to watch in action during his time with New England. He was like a man among boys. He would literally drag defenders down the field while running, and it was just amazing to see this guy apply his trade. In my opinion, he's the best tight end ever to play the game. He's certainly in the conversation anyway, regardless of how you feel about the Patriots as an organization, and just really, really happy to get this super shiny Gronkowski into my PC. So a Patriots card there to end it. That's going into the Football Z-Folio. And that is going to be a wrap on today's 15 cards. Pretty random as always. I hope you saw something among this grouping that interested you. Certainly appreciate you stopping by to spend a few minutes here on the channel. And as you know, I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care and enjoy the hobby.